Within 4 years, I've gone for different interviews, and these are the 7 hardest questions I have ever been asked in each interview I went for. If you're a nurse or you belong to another profession, you are likely to expect any of these questions. If you're preparing for an interview, or you need to go for a job interview, or you even want to apply for a job nationally or internationally, you need to watch this video to the very end, because these are the 7 hardest questions I've ever been asked. Within 4 years, I have been applying and searching for different jobs. Stick to this video. Number 7 is the most important question. Number 1 question I got asked during an interview was, what can you do for us that other candidates cannot do? Whenever you go for an interview, you are likely to expect this kind of questions. And what do you give as a response whenever you are being asked this kind of questions? What you're going to do is you will highlight your unique experience in project management and any other skill that led to a certain percent increase in efficiency in that organization. So in this kind of situation, you have to prove yourself that yes, out of hundreds of people that also applied for the same role you applied for, you will need to show them or tell them one of your unique experience, okay? Or maybe something you did in your previous place of work that actually led to an increase in percentage in efficiency in that company. An example could be, as a registered nurse in my previous hospital, because I have a clinical skill of intubating a patient, that led to them promoting me to be the head of the critical care manager in my previous place of work. And this has actually helped in the critical care unit department, because this has been an issue over the years. I am not trying to let them know that this is one skill I possess, and this is how I've used it in my previous place of work, and it has led to increase in a certain percent efficiency in my previous place of work. So this is more like I am trying to make myself outstanding out of hundreds of us that apply for the same role. So if you're going for an interview, you are likely to expect this question. You also have to relate it to your field. That is to say, if you're a nurse and they ask you such kind of question, obviously you have to relate it to your profession. So this also goes to if you're a banker or if you're also into any other professional course. That's number 1. So the second question I've ever been asked in most interviews I've gone for is, describe yourself in 3 ways. If you're watching this video for the first time, or even if you have been asked this kind of question, you are likely to go to another place to apply for the same job. This is how you describe yourself. You answer by using these 3 ways: innovative, dedicated, and collaborative traits that reflect your work ethic and the job requirements. So you're trying to let them know that yes, you are a very innovative kind of person. I mean, every company wants to grow, okay? One of the major goals of every company is what? Grow. From this level, they get to this level, they get to the level. So if you are being asked this kind of questions, you are trying to make yourself unique and outstanding. You have to let them know that yes, you are very innovative. So if they are employing you, this is what they should expect from you. You're going to give them ideas on how their company will grow from level A to level B, okay? Another impression you're giving to them also is you're dedicated, okay? No company wants a staffer who is not dedicated. If there is an emergency and you're not on duty, do you understand? When we call for your help, will you show up? Okay, because all these things add up to what? The growth of the company. So these are certain things most companies are looking for in their employees. Another example again is what? Collaborative. Of course, you can't come into a company and you are not trying to collaborate with other units or other departments or your team members. Do you understand? Obviously, for the growth of a company to happen, you need to be someone that is also collaborative. You need to collaborate, share ideas, and come together and work as a team for the core purpose of what? The growth of that company. So in your next interview, when you are being asked this kind of question, you can tell them that you're innovative, you're dedicated, and also you're collaborative too. And you also have to relate it with your profession. I don't know if I'm making any sense. So another question I get asked most of the time is, what is your biggest weakness? A lot of us might have experienced or might have been asked this kind of questions, but unfortunately, for most persons that failed or most persons that were not able to get that job or didn't pass the interview, this is the best way to answer such kind of question. whenever you're being asked in your next interview. So whenever you're asked this kind of question, you have to let them know that one of my biggest weaknesses is trying to overcommit. But then also try explaining to them how you have learned over time to prioritize certain tasks. I might give an example of one of my biggest weaknesses. I am always committed to my job and I love collaborating with all team members. This is more like, instead of giving them a bad narrative about you, okay, you're trying to let them know that yes, when they employ you, you're someone that loves his or her job very, very well. And not just loving your job, okay, you overdo most of the things you're meant to do. Let's take, for example, closing time is 5 p.m. But then because of the love for your job, okay, and because of your dedication on how to make sure that things are done adequately before you leave, you might be leaving by 6 p.m. or by 6:30 p.m. I'm just giving an example. You're trying to explain to them that yes, you're going to be overcommitted, and if they employ you, these are certain things they should expect from you. Another impression again you need to create for the company is you need to be honest while you're positive. So the fourth question I've also been asked in my job interview is, what is your biggest failure? So to answer this kind of question, you have to tell a story of a project that didn't meet expectation and how you have learned from that same experience the importance of stakeholder commitments. In this kind of situation, you are trying to discuss a failure and also letting them know that you have learned from that experience, which has made you a more different person to their own advantage. And you also have to show your resilience towards growth. Like they say, learning never ends. When you give them such impressions about your failures and also how you have also learned for such experience, this is you trying to let them know that yes, you have had failures in the past, you have learned from them. However, if they are employing you, it is to their own advantage because obviously a repeat of that same mistake is not going to happen again. The fifth hardest question I've also been asked in most of my interview is, how do you handle conflicts? So in this kind of situation, when you are being asked such kind of question of how do you handle conflicts, you need to tell a story of an incident that happened in your previous place of work. It could be in a hospital, it could be in a bank or wherever it is, okay? You need to share this kind of stories and also letting them know how you were able to handle that kind of situation, how you were able to, make everything come to a conclusion in order to resolve that kind of conflict. Another important question you should expect whenever you're going for an interview is, how do you work under pressure? Or you might be asked, can you work under pressure? So to answer this kind of question, you can start by answering, I recall a time when I led a critical project that had a tight deadline and how we were able to deliver outstanding results. Do you understand? So when you get asked this kind of question, you need to tell a story or start by saying, okay, you recall when you led a critical project and how you guys were able to deliver on time with good results, not minding the tight schedule. Just share a real life experience and emphasize your problem solving skill. Shikena. The last and the seventh question I find, or I think is the hardest 7 questions in an interview is, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Why do I say this is likely to be the hardest 7th question? Most people, most times, they don't get this kind of question. They don't understand it. They don't understand what your employer is expecting from you. So one of the ways to answer this kind of question is, you have to align your career aspiration with the company's goal. You need to let them know that yes, your aspiration or wherever you're heading to is in the same alignment with the company's goal and vision. Do you understand? So if the company is trying to get to a level of proficiency or whatever their vision could be, just make sure that you align your career aspiration, okay, to be in the same line with their goal. That is the way you buy their trust, you get their trust, and you are also indirectly letting them know that yes, you're fit for the job and there is need for them to employ you. However, if they fail to employ you, the company, they themselves, okay, they are going to be at loss. So when you know these 7 questions and you're able to answer them correctly as expected or as I explained, trust me, you are getting that job immediately. And this is the same way I've been able to scale through in most of my interviews over 4 years of my working experience without having any issue of I failed in this interview. So if you don't get all the whole 7 questions correctly, you can rewatch this video, share this video, also drop your thoughts. Let me know what you think about these 7 questions, and if you have had similar experiences, also let me know in the comment section below. Please share this video because someone might be needing this kind of valuable information out there, and you might be helping someone indirectly without knowing. Share this video and also click on the bell icon so that whenever I post another valuable information, you won't miss out on anyone. Peace out.